بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره. Alhamdulillah, we are able to have our second session on how to draw a kind of model for Islamic lifestyle out of Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, whether it be personal side or social side of it. We reached this phrase, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa alih wakfini ma yashghalun al-ihtimamu bih واستعملني بما تسألني غدا عنه واستفرغ أيامي فيما خلقتني له. And then it continues. Again, the phrase starts with salawat and ends with salawat for the next phrase. And as we said, the idea, as has been mentioned in some hadith, is that when you have a dua, if you start before saying your dua and end it with salawat, so before your dua and after the dua you make salawat, because salawat is accepted, inshallah, then what is mentioned in between also, Allah is more generous than accepting some and rejecting another. So we start with salawat, and then there are few things that are very, very important. And actually this passage is something that even if you don't remember the whole Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, these are some of the sentences that you must remember. It's very helpful, very useful. وَكْفِنِي مَا يَشْغَلُنِ الْإِهْتِمَامُ بِهِ. Please spare me the concerns which distract me. We have issues that concern us. Ham means concern. Ihtimam means to have concern for something that you want to do it. Some of these concerns are things that we need to be actually thinking about them and worried about them. For example, you should have concern about your health. You should have concern about your spirituality. You should have concern about your children, for example, your reputation. But there are things that happen and concern you, but they are not useful. For example, a troublemaker can cause concerns, but this type of concern, although we have to deal with it, but it's not something productive. Or illness or poverty. There are sometimes difficulties that come on our way. We have to deal with them, but they are not something that are useful. Actually, sometimes they can take us away from what should be our main concern. For example, as a student, you should be very much concerned about your studies. But then problems happen, that can disturb your study. So it's very important for anyone who has an aim to achieve, and we all must have aims to achieve, to be able to plan for themselves their life. Do not let people impose unnecessary concerns on them. And even if anything happens that is not really useful for them, they should know how to deal with it. They should not just be distracted. They should not just be carried away. So, although this is a dua, but at the same time we said these duas are also instructions. that you should also move in this direction. Yeah. So if you say to Allah, please give me shifa, you have to also move towards shifa. Not that you just pray and then you do nothing. If you say, oh Allah, please give me ilm, you should also go towards learning. So this is the issue of not only time management, but also management of your emotions, management of your concerns, your relations. Yeah, lots of things come to this. You see, there are people, and inshallah you are some of them, that have the same 24 hours a day. They don't have 48 hours in one day. They have 7 days a week. Everything is like us. But when you look at the results of their life, you see, it seems that they had much longer life than us. But this just seems. The reality is they had the same life, but they were more successful in managing and planning for their life. The late Sayyid Kazim al-Yazdi, who is the author of Al-Urwatul Wuthqa, one of our famous book on fiqh, which every mujtahid comments on it, So he has a sentence. He says, "Tawzi'ul waqt, tawsi'uhu. Tawzi'ul waqt, tawsi'uhu." To distribute your time, it's to expand your time. So if you can plan for your time, allocate times for different things. For example, you must have every day a time for your contemplation. Reflect on yourself, for muhasabatun nafs. You should have every day a time for your study. In addition to the studies that may relate to your work or your job, you should have some time for studying something that helps you spiritually, increases your ma'rifah. And you should know which time suits this purpose better. There are times that are good for reading. There are times which are not good for reading. There are times that are good for being alone and contemplate. There are times that are full of distraction. So we should allocate times for different things. We should find which time is better. But it's not just enough if you have time management. You should also manage your emotions. You should also prioritize your concerns. There are people, although not many, that have this ability that they decide what to think and when to think. Yeah? So for example, suppose I have 10 issues. I should be able to say, now that's the time that I only focus on my study. That's it. Even if I have a severe illness, this time I don't want to think about it. I don't want that, distract me. Another time I think about my treatment. I don't let anything else get in. So you should be able to concentrate. Okay. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ. Please use me or employ me in that about which you will ask me tomorrow. Something that I will be questioned about on the day of judgment. Because those are the priorities. If you are in this dunya for a mission, for a purpose, then the main things that you have to prepare yourself is how you want to answer about this mission. These are priorities. So unless you are sure that you have enough and sufficient answer, you should not spend too much time on other things, because that's the priority. You have to be focused. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ وَاسْتَفْرِغْ أَيَّامِي فِي مَا خَلَقْتَنِي لَهُ. and please make my days free for what you have created me for. My translation is a little bit different from that is what is there. Faragh means to be free. Okay? When someone graduates, we say Faragh al-Tahsil, means his study is finished. Or a lady who delivers, we say, she's now Faragh, means separated. Faragh, we use also, for example, for leisure time, we say awqatul faragh. So basically, we ask Allah to empty, to free our days for what He has created us for the main purpose. We don't want our days be occupied with the things which are not the purpose of our creation. This is very important. Sometimes wars happen. Lack of safety, security, injustice, poverty, illness, too much responsibilities comes. For example, a person loses his father or her father, mother, lots of difficulties can happen. Of course, these difficulties for some people can turn into opportunities. But some people cannot manage to turn them into opportunities and just distracts them. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us ability to have free time, quality time, productive time for what we are created for. So these three sentences are very much related. وَكْفِنِي مَا يَشْغَلُنِ الْاهْتِمَامُ بِهِ وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ وَاسْتَفْرِغْ أَيَّامِي فِي مَا خَلَقْتَنِي لَهُ. In dunya there are so many things to go after. It's very important to be able to remain focused. Imagine if you want something to buy and you go to a superstore. Yeah? And your time is very limited. It's not that you can stay there as much as you like. So you have to remember, I want this, and I have only, for example, 5 minutes to select and pay and come out. When you go there, you would see lots of things that you may like, lots of things that may catch your eye. But you have to say, first, I go and buy what I want, I pay for it. Then if I have extra time, then I go around. But don't take risk, because then you may lose your time. So dunya is like that. We come to dunya for a purpose, but dunya is a big, like market, a big display, exhibition. So you have to remain focused. وَأَغْنِنِي وَأَوْسِعْ عَلَيَّ فِي رِزْقِكَ. Something which is actually related to those three is the issue of having financial means so that you can concentrate on your aims. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please make me rich, enrich me, make me free from need, and expand your rizq, your provision, sustenance for me. Not because I want to indulge and entertain myself with luxurious life. No, just because I want to be able to focus. I want to look after myself, my family, my community, poor people, without being too much stressed. وَلَا تَفْتِنِّي بِالْبَطَرِ وَأَعِزَّنِي وَلَا تَبْتَلِيَنِّي بِالْكِبْرِ. Please do not let me be tried by qatar, like not being grateful, not being thankful. Fitna is like trial. Yeah. إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة. لا تفتني means do not try me with this. Let me be not failing with this trial of being after luxurious life and not being grateful and content. وأعزني, and give me honor and dignity, which is very important. A pillar in Islamic way of life is that you should feel dignified and you should treat other people also with dignity, and any relation should be based on dignity. This is very important. But وَلَا تَبْتَلِيَنِّي بِالْكِبْرِ, but please do not try me with, do not let me suffer from this, with kibr. Kibr is arrogance, negative pride. Sometimes, we don't understand whether this is honor or this is kibr, this is pride. Some people get confused. They want to be honorable, but then they unfortunately appear as arrogant, or they become really arrogant. So you have to understand that to be honorable comes with humbleness. You can be very honorable and dignified, but at the same time humble. Those who are proud of themselves and arrogant, actually they lack internal honor. If inside I am empty of honor, then I try to meet this internal need by externally put myself in a higher position. So if I am very comfortable inside and I know my achievements and I know what I have, I don't need to promote myself externally, and I would not be feeling bad if someone asks me a question or criticizes me. I don't know if you have had this experience when you are new to any job. For example, you are a new teacher and you are worried whether your students would have trust in you or not, whether school management have trust in you or not. You become too stressful. Anyone who asks a question, you think he is trying to or she is trying to damage you. You are very worried. You feel unsecure. Yeah, that's very damaging. But if you are established and confident, you encourage people to ask questions or comment or even share with you their criticism. The same is with any other job. So we ask for honor, izzah, dignity, but we don't want to suffer kibr, which is arrogance, negative pride. وَعَبِّدْنِي لَكَ وَلَا تُفْسِدْ عِبَادَتِي بِالْعُجْبِ. Please make me able to serve you. I want to worship you or serve you, which is more than worshiping, to be a servant, not a worshipper only. But at the same time, we have to be careful about some negative things that can happen to a worshipper or someone who wants to serve Allah, and that is ujb. Those who don't worship Allah, those commit their wajibat and don't avoid haram, they may not get ujb. Yes, they may get ujb from other aspects of their life, for example, if they do something positive in their job or whatever. But in their ibadah, in their religious life, they don't get ujb because they know that they have failed. But those who are pious, muttaqi, they do their wajibat, they avoid haram, they do good activities, charity work, then they have to be careful not to develop ujb. Ujb is self-admiration. To think that you are very special, you are very important, you are superior to other people just because you are, for example, doing Salatul Layl, or you are doing lots of good work, more than other people, or more than what is happening in that society or community, which is very destructive. Even can be sometimes worse than not doing that good action that you are doing. So if there is a matter of doing Salatul Layl and having ujb, or not doing Salatul Layl and having no ujb, it's better not to do and have no ujb, because ujb is very destructive. So sometimes Allah makes people unable to do some mustahabbat or some good actions because Allah wants to protect them from ujb. But if you protect yourself against ujb and equip yourself, then inshallah you should be able to do more good things. So these are also things that we have to think about it, how you can have a balanced view about yourself. Yeah? Because if you are too critical about yourself, too suspicious, too negative, it's not good. But if you have, too much positive opinion about yourself, more than what you are, that is also not good. How we can have a balanced opinion about ourselves? That's very important. وَهَبْ لِي مَعَالِيَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. Please give me as gift highest characteristics, highest traits of character. To be doing something very good, not just basic, not just to reciprocate. Like Makarim al-Akhlaq. We said Makarim al-Akhlaq is more than Mahasin al-Akhlaq. So Ma'ali, something that shows highness, excellence in akhlaq. But at the same time, وَعْصِمْنِي مِنَ الْفَخْرِ. What is fakhr? Yeah, fakhr is again a kind of pride, but fakhr is normally in telling others that you are better than them. Okay? So it's mostly with people. Ujb can be internal. You don't say necessarily anything. Just inside you may have ujb. But fakhr is when I tell you, I am better than you. Or I have more than you. For example, I have more knowledge than you. I have more money than you. My position is higher than you. I have more children or better children than you. This is called fakhr, mufakhara. So sometimes can be positive, like pride. Pride can be positive and negative. Fakhr, if it is really possessing some good qualities, it's good. But if you want to show yourself as better than others and higher than others, and you want to say they are lower than you, this is bad. So at the same time that you rise in qualities, you have to rise in humbleness. Otherwise you become arrogant. So we have later, just now, look at this beautiful, how this is related. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alih wa la tarfa'ni fi an-nas darajatan illa hatattani 'inda nafsi mithlaha. please do not raise me among people any rank unless you lower me internally. It means that your humbleness should be increasing proportionate to your progress. If not more, at least equal. Yes?
How would you define positive pride? Is that the same as a sense
Honor.
of honor?
Yes. Yes. Because if you don't have that honor, then you will feel very insecure. You will, just lose your identity. You will follow other people because you think they are better, without any discern. So, لا ترفعني في الناس درجة إلا حطتني عند نفسي مثلها. So, as soon as you make a progress in your social life and finance, you are going to categories in the society which are for people who have more power, more respect. They are more paid. I don't know, whatever gives you a better position in the society in the eyes of people. Or you are becoming, for example, an alim, then ayatollah, So whatever gives you a higher position in the society should at the same time make you internally feel more humble. This is very important. Otherwise, you will not be able to avoid yourself from negative pride. So this means that people who are in higher position, they need more humbleness. Unfortunately, when we go higher, even we lose the humbleness that we had, let alone have more humbleness. Yeah? So there are people that, as long as, for example, they are unknown, they are humble, but then they lose humble. Or for example, you are a teacher in the school, you are humble, but you become headmaster, then you may lose your humbleness. But what we read here is that not only you should not lose that level of humbleness, your humbleness should increase, because now you are in a position that you need more humbleness. إِلَّا حَطَتَّنِي عِنْدَ نَفْسِي مِثْلَهَا. So you should be more critical of yourself when you go higher. Assalamu alaikum. وَلَا تُحْدِثْ لِي عِزًّا ظَاهِرًا إِلَّا أَحْدَثْتَ لِي ذِلَّةً بَاطِنَةً عِنْدَ نَفْسِي بِقَدَرِهَا. Please do not bring about any outward, any external honor or exaltation for me unless you have brought about for me a kind of internal or inward humbleness in myself proportionate to that. The same thing.
Now, is that mainly for yourself or for... Because if you have this position, then others perceive you in a different way, or both? Or what would you say?
Of course, first inside, but then it will appear on your actions and sayings and the way you treat people.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come from inside, it will be superficial, artificial, You just pretend you are humble because you don't want to lose, good opinion of people. But if it is coming from inside, then it will also sort out your relation with people.
And would that be the goal of it? That's what I mean.
Goal of what?
The goal of this...
Sorry.
Why would you have to be
more humble?
I understand you understand. But...
Yeah, because humbleness is a great personal quality, even if no one knows about it. It's a great personal quality. You may be living alone and not be humble. You may be in society and be humble. So humble is a personal quality. But one of the benefits of humbleness is that it helps with your relation with other people. Because, like, to be contemplative, it's a personal quality. But if you're contemplative, you can have better life in society, better relations. Of course, if you are too contemplative, it might be difficult. But so, if you have balanced humbleness, then it's a great achievement for yourself, because in Islamic spirituality, we believe humbleness is one of the core virtues. Humbleness and servitude to God comes together. But definitely it will be reflected in your relation with people. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa matti'ni bihudan salihin la astabdilu bih. Please enable me to enjoy a sound guidance, a righteous guidance, that I would not replace it with anything else. So, seeking guidance, again, this is an instruction. So, in an Islamic lifestyle, you should always try to seek guidance, advice, opinion from people who have knowledge, who have wisdom, who have experience. Yeah? La astabdilu bih. But when you receive guidance, you should take it seriously. You cannot take guidance and then do something else, because opposite to guidance is misguidance. So you should go after guidance, and you should get it and keep it and act upon it. وَطَرِيقَةَ حَقٍّ لَا أَزِيغُ عَنْهَا. Please enable me to enjoy a path of truth. A path of truth. Truth is the main thing to observe in Islamic way of life. Everything should be at the service of truth, because Allah is truth and the truth. ذَلِكَ بَأَنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْحَقِّ. In some lectures we have explained the significance of truthfulness. In Hosel we had several sessions on this. We want to have access to the path of truth, and then la azighu anha, and then do not deviate. Yeah? If you don't find the right path, it's a problem. And if you find it and then you lose it again, it's a bigger problem. Because now you don't have an excuse, Even before you may not have excuse, but some people may have excuse. But after having it, then it's hard to have no excuse. وَعَمِّرْنِي مَا كَانَ عُمْرِي بِضْلَةً فِي طَاعَتِكَ. Again, this is one of the sentences that maybe you can memorize and say in qunut or sajda. عَمِّرْنِي مَا كَانَ عُمْرِي بِضْلَةً فِي طَاعَتِكَ. Please give me a long life, but as long as my life is spent in your obedience. Because it's not only duration of life which is important. The quality of life, the purpose of life, what you achieve in your life is more important. Some people say it is the depths of life. You have lengths of life and you have depths of life. Yeah, you can have also widths of life. How many activities you do, but depth is important. So, life, as long as it is spent in good way, is a great thing, and we ask Allah to give us a long life. But na'udhu billah, فَإِذَا كَانَ عُمْرِي مَرْتَعًا لِلشَّيْطَانِ. But if my life has become a pasture for Satan, a place that shaitan can eat and feed, like grass for animals, that's called marta, a place that animals go to
Grace.
Yeah. So if my life is going to be used by shaitan, I am feeding shaitan in my life, means I'm giving opportunity to shaitan to use my life and myself. فَقْبِضْنِي إِلَيْكَ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَسْبِقَ مَقْتُكَ إِلَيْهِ أَوْ يَسْتَحْكِمَ غَضَبُكَ عَلَيْهِ. Please, then if that's going to happen, if my life is spent not in your obedience, is spent in disobedience, in committing sins and injustice, so please take me towards yourself before your anger is fixed on me, or your anger comes to me. Maqt and qadab are very similar. Maqt means not to be pleased, and qadab means anger and wrath. So before your anger comes to me or is fixed on me, because sometimes you may do something and Allah's anger is not fixed, you can be forgiven. But if considerable part of your life is given to shaitan and then anger of Allah is fixed, no chance of change or tawbah, then it's better to die sooner. Once a tyrant asked a very pious person who was thought to be mustajabu da'wah. I don't know if you have heard. Mustajabu da'wah is the title for the people whose du'as are accepted. So this tyrant governor or ruler asked a pious person, was mustajabu da'wah, please pray for me. He said, may Allah kill you. He said, I told you to pray for me, not to pray against me. He said, I prayed for you because the sooner you die, the better for you and the better for people. Your crimes would be less, so you would have less punishment, and people also would have freedom. So, we can also say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if living longer means I am going to have more problems on the day of judgment, to annoy more people, hurt more people, add to my sins, so please take me earlier, so that at least I don't have those extra problems. Allahumma la tada' khaslatan tu'abu minni illa aslahtaha. This part is related to social life, although it has personal aspect as well. Because in Islam, internal piety and external relation are very much interconnected. Oh Allah, please do not leave in me any khasla, any characteristic, any trait of character that tu'abu minni, that I will be blamed for. So it means do not let any blameworthy characteristic in me unless you fix it. So it means I don't want to have any trait of character that would make people dislike me, would damage my reputation, honor in the society. وَلَا عَائِبَةً أُؤَنَّبُ بِهَا إِلَّا حَسَّنْتَهَا. Please do not let any عائبة, any fault, any flaw, any deficiency that I will be criticized or blamed for unless you make it beautiful. وَلَا أُكْرُومَةً فِيَّ نَاقِصَةً إِلَّا أَتْمَمْتَهَا. Not only I don't want any faulty trait of character to be there, I also don't want any virtue to be half complete, incomplete. So if there is any okruma, anything which is good, but naqisa, is not yet completed, Imagine you are on your way to become generous, but still not completely generous. You are on your way to be kind, but not still. So we ask Allah to make these incomplete noble traits of character complete, to grow them and let them become complete. Shall we stop? Okay. So, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. And in this, I think, passage, so I try to be faster as suggested by you than previous session. I think we have a good combination of what we should do internally and in society. How we should make sure that we have very sound, respectful relation with other people. We treat them with honor and dignity. Even we don't think we are not better than them. Not only we don't say this, we don't even think that we are better than other people. You know how much this can improve society if everyone thinks that other people are better than him, or at least equal to him. Yeah, treat them as equal. If a boss treats his employees as equal, if a teacher, a doctor, they treat their clients, their students, their patients as equal. If rulers, people who have power, people who have money. So this is one side. The other side is that internally we should develop more humbleness, especially if you are making progress in society. We should also be very much concerned about how to manage our time, how to set up our priorities in life, how to avoid unnecessary concerns, how to not to let things distract us from our main purpose. So I think there are lots of beautiful things here that can help us in having a very meaningful, dignified, tranquil life in a society in which honor and kindness are spread to all members. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.